Oh no, they're back. It's another Creaky Gamers battle report. Warhammer, the old world. Let's go roll some dice.
Alright, welcome to round 2 of the first ever Warhammer Old World battle report I've been to. If you want to know more about my army, just look at battle report number 1. So round 2, we're going to be facing off against the Bretonnians. So let's get into the battle. Alright, so into the deployment, the Bretonnian longbowmen, a bombard, which counts as like a cannon, I think, some Pegasus knights with banner, etc. Big block of 6 knights, that's his battle standard bearer on a Royal Pegasus. Some men-at-arms with halberds or pole arms, and he's got a level 3 and a level 2 wizard, more longbowmen, and then more longbowmen, and then the general on Royal Pegasus next to some peg knights there as well, and some knights way out on that flank. So I'm not sure what all their items were, but that's the general deployment. Battle standard, some knights, and lots of archers. So over here, there's my level 2 with the Ruby Ring of Ruin out on this flank. I remembered Vanguard on my Scorpions, so the Scorpions have gone forward. There's Kiefertep the Mighty there in the Tomb Guard. Next to them is the Hierophant, some Skelly Archers, Scorpion, and a Ushabti, Bone Giant, and then I've put the Necrosphinx way out on that flank thinking he's out of range of the cannon. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Alright, so it's going to be a very quick turn 1 because the Bretonnians won the roll-off and they don't move forward at all. They're just going to do some shooting with their longbowmen. So on that flank there, the knights, the peg knights moved up a little bit, but it's just going to be the shooting from the longbowmen. So there's some shots there into my Scorpions, which I vanguarded forward. And on this side, they all just sat still in doing some long-range longbow fire. The only thing really of note is a little bit of a couple of wounds here and there. And the bombard, I thought I deployed outside 48, but it bounced beyond 48 into the Necrosphinx. And so the Necrosphinx took 4 wounds on turn 1, so he's only got 1 wound left. So I've got to decide whether I'm going to commit him to the battle or try and get him back over near the Hierophant and heal him. So the Necrosphinx is heavily wounded on turn 1. Okay, so turn 2. So on the Tomb King's turn, I moved up as fast as I could, but shuffling forward, and my light troops were kept back by the peg knights because they've got such a long charge range. They'll take care of any of my light troops. So at the moment, there's a pillar of fire there, which is cast, and it's getting closer to my Ushabti. The Necrosphinx is trying to get to safety. I've shuffled forward with the Tomb Guard, and just my light troops are peppering his light troops. Standoff here between the Scorpion and the peg knights. I want to get rid of those archers so I can try and win that flank. But my archers and my horse archers and the chariots are shooting some of those. But there's no action on this left flank. You can see the Necrosphinx is trying to get to safety, trying to hide from the cannon. So he's hiding behind that building from the cannon. And that's pretty much it for turn 2. I lost a few wounds here and there, but we'll shuffle forward. Okay, so as we move into turn 3, I'm hoping I'm keeping it in order here. So he's going to... There's a bit of a standoff here at the moment, but he has the charge reach on me, and the Tomb Guard seem a bit unsupported. His knights are just hanging back there in the corner while he's letting his shooting doing the work, and it's doing a lot of work. My Necrosphinx is sort of out of the game now. So he does move the battle standard up there around this building to threaten the flank of the Tomb Guard. And he's got his knights there, so cannon, knights and everything. And I want to try and win this right flank here with the Scorpion and the chariots to get rid of those archers, the longbowmen in the corner there. But and then here I used to have a unit of skeleton archers. 10 skeleton archers were there, but they've been shot and blasted with magic. So his magic and shooting has done quite a bit. That pillar of fire is stopping me advancing with the Ushabti as well. His generals jumped over the building, and the Peg Knights have moved up to threaten as well. So it looks like the Tomb Kings are in a bit of trouble here. The Tomb Guard are isolated, and I'm losing some support. And my Scorpion there has got a wound on him as well now. So things are grim. Alright, so yeah, I'm sure I've missed a turn here somewhere. I've cast a column of crystal there to try and block the cannon from shooting something. I've turned the Scorpion in this way. There's the column of crystal. Turn the Scorpion this way to try and help the Tomb Guard, to at least protect their flank when those knights come in. I've tried to move the Ushabti up. I dispelled the pillar of fire, so the Ushabti have moved up. And the Necrolith Colossus, the old bone giant, has moved up as well to try and at least threaten this flank. But this flank is looking very thin now with the Necrosphinx running away. The Necrosphinx is at the bottom of the picture, out of picture there. So I turn the Scorpion in this way, turn the Tomb Guard a little bit. The flank is being threatened by the BSB and the Knights are about to charge. So it's crunch time on this flank. Eventually we might get rid of those longbowmen. They've been very pesky, trying to get rid of them. So I think that was about 3 or 4. I'm starting to lose track of the turn numbers here. Okay, so what I remember from turn 4, my bone giants moved up near the building there, and then this combat, the Peg Knights have gone into the Ushabti, so we'll see how they go. Giant trying to hide behind the building. The Tomb Guard, trying to send some support there for the Tomb Guard. The Hierophant hiding behind the Tomb Guard there. Got to get rid of that Bombard, it's doing a lot of damage. And eventually now the Knights are feeling a bit safe on this flank. So the combat goes okay for the Ushabti. We managed to kill a couple of Peg Knights, take a few wounds. I lost a Ushabti, but you'll notice there's a gap there behind them now where the Bone Giant used to be. So there, that's where the Bone Giant was. He got hit by the cannon and some longbows, and my Bone Giant is dead. And you can see the Tomb Guard are now threatened. They've got the BSB in the flank, and there's a clear path there for a long charge for the Knights. So I've turned the Scorpion in here. I'm going to have to survive a cannon shot to maybe get rid of the Bombard. And I've whittled those longbowmen on that right flank down to 3. But he still has some Peg Knights over there. And the Ushabti, in my bottom of turn 4, the Ushabti break the Peg Knight. They don't kill him, but he runs away. He lives to fight another day. And then they're all lined up to, well, there's the Necrosphinx. He's got 1 wound left. And I've flown him all the way over here to try and be healed by the Hierophant. Just 1 wound, but the Hierophant has to keep running away from his general there as well, and BSB. So it's poised there to try, we've got to try and get rid of that Bombard this turn. Maybe get rid of those archers, but that's the end of turn 4, I think. Okay, so we'll go into turn 5. Okay, so we go into turn 5, and this is the end of my recording because I forgot to record turn 6. I got so involved with what was going on here. So the BSB and those Knights charge into the Tomb Guard, and his general does a long bomb charge into my 2 remaining chariots here. He will charge in there and polish off the chariots. So the chariots will die, and then on turn 6 or 5, or end of 5 or 6, he moves the general closer to the centre. The Ushabti, they get shot. There's only going to be 1 Ushabti left after all the shooting from the longbows. But that 1 Ushabti is going to be able to block a charge later on, so that's handy. So the Knights go in here and the BSB in the flank. and they do roll, well, pretty good, and the Tomb Guard roll really bad, and I lose about half the unit, probably more than half the unit, and I'm able to raise back into them. So the Tomb Guard don't disappear, they hang around with the Tomb King. I do hardly any wounds, maybe I kill a knight, but after they've gone in, I've still got that Scorpion on the flank, so that Scorpion will come into the flank and help out in the bottom of that turn. We'll raise some of those Tomb Guard back into the unit, and eventually we will win that combat, surprisingly. The Ushabti, they're just going to be shot to death, but I'll still have one left who is in that one left Ushabti that's alive will be able to block those knights from getting into the centre. Yeah, so the general kills the chariots, and then he eventually moves over and offers himself as a target to the Tomb King later on, believe it or not, after the Tomb King beats up the BSB. So there was a big turnaround because the Bretonnians are way ahead here, but because the Scorpion comes in and the Tomb King decides to actually hit something, we managed to break those knights. The Scorpion chases them down. The BSB falls back. The Tomb King kills the BSB. So that was unfortunate for the Bretonnians. They were looking good here, but the Tomb Guard held and eventually killed the BSB. He goes that way. The Tomb Guard go that way as well. And eventually the Tomb Guard will charge the general on the Pegasus. And Kiefertep the Undying will slay the enemy general. The Necrosphinx survives the battle, so he didn't give up his points with one wound left there, and it ends up being a victory to the Tomb Kings. Believe it or not, I just didn't record the most important turn 6, where it all happened. So the Tomb Kings lost 754, and the Bretonnians lost about 1200, so it's about a 400 and odd point victory to the Tomb Kings. Only because those knights broke, the BSB was killed and the general was killed. So it was a big turnaround in points at the end. So there wasn't much terrain on the table, so there wasn't anywhere to hide the Necrosphinx. There's no woods or hills or anything, so it was a pretty open table. So that cannon had clear shots, and it took the Necrosphinx out of the game. It killed the Bone Giant. So, and eventually it misfired and blew up when it was about to kill a Scorpion. So it did a lot of work, and then it misfired. So the man of the match for the Bretonnians was their archers and their cannon, and the man of the match for the Tomb Kings was the Tomb Guard, holding on and then fighting back with some help from the Scorpion. And the Necrosphinx just ran away to fight another day. So that's it. Sorry I missed the last turn, very disappointing, but anyway, it makes the battle report brief. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Hopefully they have another tournament soon. Bye for now.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this battle report from those great tacticians, the Creaky Gamers. Please subscribe. Those creaky old gamers need your support. Now go paint your miniatures, and have a great day.